Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So hello guys, today come back again with me Kazi in this video. So today in here I'm going to demo my newest project in IoT. Yeah, the name is Greenhouse. So in here we have a website. There's a website. There's two sensor in here. There's a pH sensor and TDS sensor. Is the function for the pH sensor is the to check the water is healthy or not if we drink, and if the TDS sensor checks the water is what good or not. Yeah, like it to if it what if it like brown, it will become more of the number, and if it more bright, there's no color, yeah, it will more hide the number. So in here we have the item for the project. Yeah, here we can see in here there's three different bottle and different water. Yeah, in here check this two sensor of it. This one is what pH, and this one is TDS. Yeah, we see the difference of it. Yeah, and this I will try to in this one. Yeah. If I put in here, it will become pH sensor become 7, and the TDS sensor become 600. It means it's safe to get drink by humans. Yeah, and the second one, I'll try to put the TDS sensor in here. TDS sensor in here. Yeah. Ah, it will be become below 150, and if we try this one, pos dulu, airnya kurang.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, welcome to my section today. Basically, what I'll be doing here is I'll be explaining the code of the of the robot before or machine. Basically, you can see here, see these variables. What are these variables for? These are to set or to make variables in the code. Instead, unlike blocks, you have to type it in to make a variable instead of variables. You can't just make it here. You just have to type in the code to set it as a variable. Next is to definite it is to make a loop for every 500 milliseconds. You can see here every interval of 500 milliseconds. It normally set to 500. Why? Because normally in here it's set as milliseconds instead of seconds. You can see this global to make variables to be accessible inside of the loop or branch or code. Yeah, you can say it as a line of code. Yeah, and to make it accessible to the loop so it can be used inside of here. So we can see it's the first line of code, fold 2, or you can just set it as fold. Basically, this variable is about to get fold the fold number, since you will need, so you can see over here, because wait, hold on, give me a second. Yeah, over here it's fold. So we could get we could change raw signals or raw analog signal. You can see here analog read pin of pin 1, and then we'll multiply it by 3.3, which is the maximum fold that the microbit can take, and 1000 to 103, which is the normal integer, normal number for analog. Second is compensation. Over here it's compensation. It's to compensate for temperature and stuff. Yeah, to yeah. So The compensation will be formula for the compensation is 1 plus 0.02 times temperature minus 25. You will get the number of the temperature here. Temperature you could get it from the microbit here. We can say it as room temperature or temperature the microbit is in right now. Then you will divide it. You will subtract 25 from it. Then you will add 1 plus 0.02 and you'll multiply it both of them. Then after that you will get compensated voltage. You'll need compensated voltage. So you get volt from before, then you will divide it by with compensation and you will get compensated voltage. Second is ppm. What is ppm? Ppm is parts per million. uh, it's basically how clean the water is. Yeah, how clean the water is, or TDS, like that. So you will need this long formula: 103 133.42 times this can dot here 0.42 dot or times compensated voltage by the power of 3 subtracted, oh, not subtracted, minus 255.86 multiplied by by compensated voltage by the power of 2. When you add it up with 857.339 multiplied by compensated voltage, and you'll multiply it by 0.5, and then you will get the parts per million, the amount of the parts per million. And because parts per million, if you just put it in as the input parts per million, it will look very messy. That's why we will need to round up the number. So what's before like a million digits behind the dot will be only at least 3 digits or 4. And then there is the pH meter. What exactly is pH? Is the acidity, or the, yeah, how toxic the water is. So first you will need, of course, Vpin. Vpin, you need volt, this volt, yeah, from before, and then you will multiply it by 1,624. What exactly is this number for? This number is you get from this number from the resistor. The resistor subtracts or divides the the volt or the electricity that comes to the resistor by 1,624. Yeah, so that's why we multiply. 1.624. Yeah. Then you multiply it, and then you will use voltage pin in here. 2.89 is one of the neutral numbers, and then 7 is the neutral number for pH, or the cleanest version of the pH you can have or drink. 0.16 0.167 is the number that you get after you subtract pH by 1 or add up pH by 1. For example, if pH 7 goes to 8, that's adding up 0.6167. The same goes when you go from 6 and to 7 to 6, you'll get minus 0.167. So basically, that is for the code in the microbit make code that will repeat every. Oh yeah, and for the input of pH, you'll divide it by 10. Why? Because if you add it into the simulation without dividing it, it will become a 3-digit number. For example, if it was before 7, wait, not, it can be 2 digits or 3 digits. From what was before 7, only 7, it will become 70. What was before 8 will become 80. That's why we must subtract it by 10 to remove the number to remove the digit behind it. Then you will round it also to make it clean. And that will repeat every 500 milliseconds. Then you will have dashboard. The dashboard, yeah, of course, is to, yeah, will get information about the robot actuator or the lamp and speed or fan. and the actual information you'll get is this. This is the pH sensor. You'll go, it's a slider, and that you can see the pH meter 14 to 0, and then there's the TDS sensor. Yeah, how many parts are per minute? They will change according to the machine's input or output. I mean, and this is yeah like Raster's project to connect the Firebase and to connect to the microbit Bluetooth, the Bluetooth microbit. I think that's all for my section today. I'll give the next section to my friends. Thanks for watching my section. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.